We've talked to Sam Bradford on numerous occasions. He's excited about the new weapons. You've got to be excited, too, with the possibilities and the things you can do this year.
Hey, I'm excited with the way the guys are working. Obviously, we've had a great offseason. I mean, just a great offseason. Getting a guy like Jake Long and Jared Cook in free agency and then the draft we had, I think just speaks to, Les and Jeff and the whole organization, their commitment. And I understand why Sam has a smile on his face for a lot of reasons, obviously the weapons and then obviously not having to learn a new system. So been a really, really great offseason. Guys are working hard. It's been fun to watch them work.
One of the weapons that you had last year but didn't use very much was Brian Quick. What sort of progress have you seen from him now?
I tell you what, he's doing a lot better. I think, last year he actually made some plays when we used him. We used him kind of sparingly a little bit. He's stepped up this year. He's just much more comfortable. He's able to think a little bit. There was a period yesterday where we got some tough looks defensively from the defense and maybe something he would have missed last year, route adjustments and stuff. He nailed. So he's doing really, really well. And again, I think even coming back in training camp and hearing it again will be great for him.
Have you ever been around a group that's so young, running back and receiver?
Probably not. It's kind of exciting. Again, if they weren't working so hard, if they were struggling a little bit mentally, which I'm sure they'll have their days, I'd probably be a little bit nervous. But they're doing really well. And again, Coach helps us by setting up the structure where we can get a chance to visit with these guys and do the installs a couple different times, which certainly helps them. But a young group, but very, very fast, explosive group. So there's a trade-off there.
When you see rookies and their eyes are kind of wide, what makes you happy? What do they do out here that impresses you?
Well, certainly you just watch some of the playmakers that we've had. I mean, you see guys making one-handed catches, guys making guys miss out in space. That gets you excited. But for me, probably as a coach, it's just the attention to detail. It's them playing hard, playing fast, getting mad if they make a mistake. All that stuff is exciting. And we've got, again, there's a whole list of guys. You talk about Zach Stacy. From Zach Stacy, Tavon Austin, to some of the guys that we signed as college free agents, they're all working hard. And, again, we try to do a good job of when they do make mistakes, which are going to make mistakes, try to find the positive and then make the correction. So good group of guys, fun to come to work and work with them.
Kind of in the same spot you were last year in terms of just having a group of guys at left guard spot kind of competing. Just what do you think you have in that group, and what are you seeing there?
Well, again, Chris and Shelley are rotating. Obviously, Rakevius is a guy that we're going to swing around a little bit as well. But, again, we've got two guys that played for us last year. We went by series, if you guys remember the last two games, Tampa Bay and Seattle, and didn't give up a sack against two pretty good front fours. So it's been fun to watch them compete. They're both, again, second year in the system, but both of them actually missed training camp last year because we got them both late. So, again, you see that they're leaps and bounds ahead of where they were mentally last year, so that's making the competition even more fun to watch.
It's kind of a funny Cork Austin Pettis only in his third year, but he's the most tenured veteran at receiver. What have you seen from him kind of embracing maybe more of a leadership role?
Well, I think if you guys watch him, he does a great job of coaching these young guys. He's a professional, and he's probably, quite honestly, having the best camp of maybe all the skilled players. But he's just a tireless worker, very competitive, can play all the spots, which helps, and he's having a tremendous spring.
Another guy I want to ask you about, Austin Davis. How has he come along maybe from where he was last year? Obviously hard for a quarterback to adjust right away. But
yeah, he's doing good. Again, the thing Austin did last year, he really didn't always know what he was doing, but he did move the team in the preseason, and ultimately that's what you're trying to get done as a quarterback, to move the team. This year, again, you see him being much faster with his decisions, maybe a little bit more accurate with some of his throws. He's got a better feel for what we're teaching footwork-wise. Again, another guy having a good spring.
Do you see the running back situation? How do you see it evolving? I know it's early, but could it be a committee where there's not one main guy?
Absolutely. Again, I think, right now the competition is let the guys roll a little bit. Darryl and Isaiah. Zach Stacy's a guy that's doing great. Terrence Ganaway's a guy that we like. But, you need multiple backs in this league. And, again, we're going to try to play to their strengths. And, again, with Jack last year, it was a little bit different. It was harder to do the committee because every time you took him out, you knew you were missing his leadership and his toughness. This year, again, I think we got nice pieces to kind of try to blend in and use them to differently attack people.
How about the pass protection aspect of it for a young running back?
That'll be the biggest question, because obviously Jack gave us that. Again, our defense gives us some really tough looks, which has been good. We ask a lot of our backs, and again, so far so good. But again, there'll be some things I'm sure that come up that we'll coach them up and just keep showing them video. And that's how these guys are going to learn. They're going to learn by making mistakes, and the more that they see now will help them when we get to the season opener.
You mentioned all the new weapons on offense. What are some of the challenges for you personally in trying to incorporate them and maybe tweak what you do to best serve those guys?
Well, I think we're still trying to find what our identity is going to be. I mean, it's a work in progress. I think we're starting to kind of get a feel for it, but nothing's done yet. I mean, so that's the hard part. What personnel groupings? How do they fit? How do you mix pieces around? You got to who can learn different spots, who can't, and then again working out the competition. So. But it's a good problem to have. I promise you that. We're enjoying it. Yeah.
Is it more fun for you?
It's been great. It really has.